So today I'd like to share a story about Roush and how it relates to my Raptor Clancy here. So a bit of background on Roush. They're a third-party company that works very closely with Ford, kind of like Shelby, maybe on a slightly smaller scale. So they're effectively a first-party tuner, just based on how good of a relationship the two companies have. So when I first bought my Raptor, it's great as is. You do all sorts of research, and I came to the conclusion that Raptors, as they are out of the box, they don't need anything extra. A lot of people like to do a lot of things here and there, and in my mind, you're making small upgrades, that's fine. Anything major, it's not necessary. It undoes a lot of the work the engineers put thousands and thousands of hours into. So what I wanted was just a bit more power, a bit more refinement, and I was fine with it. Everything else, chassis, suspension, it's fine. Everything was great. There's no need to tinker with it. All that does is just screw with the ride quality and doesn't really give you any additional benefits. I did a bunch of research and I found Roush offered a Performance Pac Level 1, Performance Pac Level 2. And I liked what they had to offer because, again, they're basically a first party tuner for Ford. So you're getting all the benefits of a good relationship between the two companies, and you're going to get a good quality product. And you get to avoid, having to send in your ECU like some companies asked for, and you get to avoid all that. The Performance Pac Level 1 was the intake and the tune, and Performance Pac Level 2 tacked on an exhaust. So I didn't pull the trigger for a long time. I waited until 2023. So in September of 2023, I got what was called at the time the Performance Pac Level 1, which is just the intake and the tune. The combination of the two added about 55, 60 horsepower, and the turbos came on a bit sooner. So it sounded a bit different because now you've got a new intake uh, in the engine bed. Now, a happy little side effect of getting the tune was also the fact that all the shifts were smoothed out. Before that, you could feel every gear change. And even though you get used to it, it's better to have smoother gear changes than not. And Roush provided a full warranty, so I effectively paid for an extended warranty and got a bunch of goodies with it, that being all the performance improvements. So again, it was just a little bit more, and that's all you needed. And it really added a lot of character and refinement to the whole package. Now, I mentioned I didn't get the exhaust at the time, and I only got the Performance Pac Level 1. So Roush stopped selling the Performance Pac Level 2, which included the exhaust, when I got the intake and the tune done. So the exhaust would have been a separate purchase. And at the time, I didn't really have the desire to put in the extra money into that, especially considering that the exhaust makes everything much louder. And I wasn't sure how I felt about having a louder exhaust. Now, even though I'd heard clips of what the exhaust sounded like, and I had gotten some help from the Ford dealers in Roush on learning about what the exhaust would sound like, I still didn't necessarily want to have something louder. Now, a few months ago, things changed, and I said, you know what, I kind of want the louder exhaust because Clancy here was the only one in the Scuderia that didn't have any sort of exhaust on him. The others do in some varying capacity. So I said, let's do it. And I got some great help again from the same folks over at the Ford dealerships and Roush who helped me out. So thanks, Nick. You used to be at Kaiser Miller, now you're at Kennedy Ford. So hope you're loving it. Thank you for your input. Sarah at Roush for her excellent customer service and answering all my questions. And of course, all the guys at Sands Ford for ordering everything and installing everything and keeping me apprised of the status and my appointment and all that. So thank you to you all. You rock. Now, the exhaust really allows Clancy's engine to breathe more freely. It adds on about 5 to 15 more horsepower, which you may or may not feel it. And it's a nice way to round out the intake and the tune. So now all three are working together cohesively. So I noticed three things since the installation was done and I've driven it for a few miles. One, that the sound is something you feel as much as you hear. It's more bassy, and of course it's louder, and it's a very refined sort of sound. Of course it's a V6, so it's never going to sound like a V8, and that's not the intent. And you can sort of tell that when Roush designed this exhaust, the intent was never to try and make it sound like a V8. They just wanted to make it the best sounding exhaust that it could for the Gen 2 Raptor. Now, two, I know drone is always a concern. I didn't really notice any drone. It sounds louder. It doesn't sound annoying, and I think it's a great addition. And lastly, the third thing, this was something I really wasn't expecting, and I was more pleasantly surprised than anything else. The shifts now are even smoother than they were before. I mentioned how with the intake and the tune, the Performance Pac Level 1, or what used to be called the Performance Pac Level 1, the shifts became much smoother just because you have an entirely new shift map from stock. With this exhaust put on, I don't know if it's because of less back pressure or whatever, the shifts down in the lower gears from, let's say, like 1 to 5, they used to be a bit jumpy, even with the new tune. Nothing invasive, you just felt them. And now with this exhaust, I don't feel the shifts happening at all. Like it's incredible. So that's a nice bonus. I like it. So thank you for watching. I hope you gained something from this. I wanted to share a fun story about some, let's say, moderate performance improvements that I've made to Clancy here, all done by basically first-party companies that work hand in hand with Ford, even though they are their own separate entities. It's nice that there are companies out there that don't require you to, to send in an ECU and potentially have all sorts of other problems down the line. I went with something that was Ford approved, that was safe and at the same time still fun. And I'm very glad with what I've ended up with, thanks to Roush. So keep it up and remember to play a little. I guess it's fitting that there'd be a lot of snow on the day where we want to film something like this. So it's cool. Good. Boom, done. Record the short. Hey there. So today, no, that's not a good start, is it? So recently, okay, come on, man. Boom, done. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Done. Hey there.
Go ahead, say hi.
Hello. What's the little one's name?
His name is Henry.
Henry?
No jump, Henry.
Hey,
No,
Henry.
no.
Hey,
No.
Henry. How you doing? How you doing? Yeah? You're so cute.
Thank you.
Ooh. How old is he?
He is 4.
He's 4. He's a grown man.
He is a grown.
Yeah, he's so cute. Oh, thank you for sharing him.
Oh, no, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Have a
take
great
care.
day.
Yep, you too. Enjoy the snow. Awesome how animals have a way of relaxing you, huh? There's about a 30% chance it's already snowed. Should have worn pink.